Hey, hi, hello. It's the LaSala Show. Episode 18, January 4th, 2020. Happy New Year. 2021 took a look at 2020 and said, hold my beer, sir. Watch this. You're gonna get the vaccine? You're gonna get the vaccine, right? If they make you. If they make you. There's a bill that just passed, actually. I think Dr. Fauci had something to do with it. What is it? Oh, the Democrats passed a bill to vaccinate children without parental knowledge or consent. Wow. Children of the age 11 and up. It requires insurance companies, school administrators, and medical personnel to conceal from the parents that their child has been vaccinated. Good God. That's scary shit. That's scary shit. What's in that vaccine, sir? Madam? It's probably a madam. I feel like girls or women, are really good at getting in that vein. I guess, well, they draw blood, but I guess the vaccine is just a shot to the arm, right? Shot to the butt. I'm going to tell them, hey, man, I want my vaccine right here, partner. Start slapping my ass like a crazy man. There's no guest today. It's just the love this podcaster shares with his listeners. That's you, baby. So I'm watching the Pacers, my Indiana Pacers, play the New Orleans Pelicans in the Crescent City. New Orleans, LA, a scant, 2.5 hour drive, depending on traffic on the I-10. This is definitely a game I would be attending if it weren't for the COVID. Ooh, that smoothie center. It looks so nice. I sat courtside at the smoothie center one time, and it was a goddamn good time. Pacers a little shaky in this game. I don't want to have to eat crow next time I talk to my buddy John Ace. And he's a big Pelicans fan. I don't want him to talk trash at me. This team represents me. Why do I care so much about their success? Well, I do. I take it fucking personally, sirs. So yeah, this is a sports heavy episode here. A lot going on with the NFL, the playoffs. Go, Pack, go! They got the number 1 seed. Now, this hasn't happened. Last time it happened, I think it was 2011. The Packers went 15-1. And then we lost in the divisional round to the New York Giants, who then went on to upset Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. We would have beaten them that year, God damn it. But alas, we are the number 1 seed. All playoff games in the NFC come through Lambeau Field. Here's the thing. I don't want to talk too much about the Packers because, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But listen, okay. Without even being a Packers fan, these are some pretty remarkable stats. Okay? Rodgers, he's the MVP. I don't care what you tell me. Mahomes, yeah, he put up great numbers. Okay, fine. Rodgers did it with less. We've already been over this. He's the MVP, hands down. Plus, I don't even think Mahomes really wanted the MVP. Yeah, they had the seed locked up, the number 1 already, so he sat the final game. But, what are the actual chances he was going to get hurt? Even playing like a half in that Week 17 game and putting up some numbers and go and sit down. I don't know. Give it to Rodgers. Don't be a curmudgeon. He is one of 3 of the Green Bay Packers who are the number 1 graded by their position by Pro Football Focus, who analyzes all the stats, all the minutia of what really goes into these stats. The number 1 graded quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Number 1 graded wide receiver, Devontae Adams. Number 1 graded cornerback, Jair Alexander. And I'm sure David Bakhtiari, who we just lost for the rest of the year, was graded number 2 or number 3 at the lowest. This is a fucking nice team. I think it's going to be the Packers and either the Bills or the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, depending on how that AFC Championship goes, because I think that's what it's going to be. I get a little nervous talking about it. I'm a little hyped up. Another weird stat. Rodgers had 48 touchdown passes, which broke his old record. 48 touchdown passes, and our punter only punted 46 times. We had more touchdown passes by Mr. Rodgers than punts by Mr. J.K. Scott. Other NFL news, some firings. This is, in fact, Black Monday. This is when teams, hey, coach, you did a good job, but you're gone. You're done, sir. So, Doug Marrone in Jacksonville, gone. Adam Gase, New York Jets, gone. Anthony Lynn, Los Angeles Chargers, gone. And there might be another one. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to wish another man to get fired. It gives me no joy to know that they're not gonna fall back on that $4.5 million that they earned going 2-14. I'm not gonna spill any tears. So in week 17, it's always a weird week. Some teams are sitting their starters because their spot is already solidified in the playoff race. Some teams, they have to win to get in. And some teams have nothing to play for. They're just getting paid to go out there. But week 17 also brings about some weird factors with incentives. Because let's say you sign a contract, you're a free agent, you sign a contract with a new team, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you this much money, but also if you catch X many passes and get this many yards, we'll throw in an extra 100,000. How's that? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fucking prove myself. I got this, motherfucker. Get hyped up. You go out, you ball out, and you get that extra little bonus. Well, there were some people that were kind of taking advantage of this. It was kind of like when you go to a video arcade, but for the cool people, they have like those basketball goals that are set up, and the goal starts moving towards you, and you have to keep shooting, and then it starts moving back, and then it starts moving side to side. Real slow like, though. You have to be able to hit those. And so it's like if you went to an arcade and started putting balls in the net, because Tom Brady was throwing little dump-off shovel passes to Antonio Brown, one of the most despicable players in the NFL, by the way, trying to help him get his incentive. And he did. And then in Seattle, fucking Russell Westbrook, all he has to do is kneel a ball and the game's over. But no. He threw the ball to David Moore to get him his 35th catch of the year. Woo! To get him his incentive. Now, it's pretty corny. It's really corny, actually. But it happens every year. And if I was a wide receiver and I needed my first catch of the year in order to gain $1 incentive, I would be like, hey, man, don't kneel the ball. Throw a 3-yard pass to me and let me get tackled. Emmanuel Sanders for the Saints, he caught one, and he started celebrating like it was the goddamn Super Bowl. Saints fans, y'all saw that, right? It was like he had caught his 1,000th catch. Good for him, though. Good on him. All right, I'm going to go over the NFL later this week as the games draw near. But there was one last thing I want to bring up about the Eagles tanking on national television, a Sunday night primetime game in which they had nothing to play for, as we mentioned before. It was one of those teams. And if they would have won, the New York Giants would have, in fact, gotten into the playoffs. But instead of even almost trying, they had a really tight game with the Washington football team. And they took out their starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and put in some backup, Nate Sudfeld. And when asked about, why were you actively tanking this game, Doug Peterson, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, he says, no, I had other, I just wanted, it was just, Nate, he's been here 4 years. He deserved it. He deserved it? What do you mean he deserved it? That's shady, sir. Just own up to it. Just be like, yeah, well, actually, in fact, we did the math, and if we lose this game, we get the number 6 overall pick. And if we win this game, we get the 9th overall pick. So let's go ahead and lose it. Put in some backups. Let Washington go to the playoffs, and we get a higher draft pick. That makes sense. See, I just played both arguments there. Interesting. Because I don't give a fuck about the Eagles. But everybody was all upset about this, and I was like, I could see it both ways. See, if it was the Packers and they were in this position, absolutely. Lose the game. I want that higher draft pick. All right, let's move to some college football, which I don't care about ever until this time of year. The most relevant games where it actually means something, I guess. So I watched the Ohio State Clemson game. Clemson heavily favored, not heavily favored, but they were definitely supposed to win that game. And Ohio State crushed them. I mean, it was hard to watch. It was a boring game, and the only reason I was watching was because I had a little scratch on it, and they came through for me, so thank you, Ohio State. So Ohio State will move on to face Alabama. The Crimson Tide. They beat the brakes off of Notre Dame. And this is sort of one of 3 or 4 matchups that everyone had written down before the season even started. Before we even knew there was going to be a season. This is just sort of on par for the course. Fucking boring. Fucking boring. They need to expand the playoffs. Not too much. But, let some shit teams go in there and try to shake shit up. Why not? All right, some politics now for you. You can switch off if you like. The Trump tape that came out, he's calling Georgia talking about, I need you to find some votes for me. This dude is going to jail for something. Okay, this is highly illegal. I don't even know how they obtained these tapes and how they became public knowledge, but this is embarrassing, Jack. You look nuts. Sit your ass down. Get out of the country if you must. You look ridiculous. He's nuts. All right, go out and vote, Georgia. Woo! A Republican by the name of Emmanuel Cleaver closed Congress's opening prayer by saying, "Amen and A women." Amen and A women. That's real clever. That's clever. If you did that on purpose, yeah, you had to have done that on purpose. Was that cute? You felt funny about that? You had to laugh to yourself while you were jacking off in the bathroom? I only have one more thing for you. It's a fun fact. If you want to call it that. All right. Dolphins and whales are the only living beings, other than humans, that commit suicide. Ooh, that's dark. Thanks for listening. Until next time, don't die.